Well guys, I'm shooting a short video. Just wanted to provide an update since it's been quite a while since I've been recording anything, and I didn't record a lot in February. A lot of things happened, and yeah, it's been a lot of stuff, but maybe I can, maybe when I'm a little bit more well organized in a video format, I can kind of provide an update. But today, I'm just taking a walk on a Sunday. You know what? Maybe I think it's time that we do a face reveal. Since I'm out. Okay, so this is my face reveal. This is my second time recording this video. The first time I did it, it was 30 minutes long, and I think, although I complained about the angle, about not recording or recording outside 2 days ago, on the actual day that I was outside, in the first portion of this video, I complained to myself afterwards about the angle and the audio, the sound. It was windy, rainy, and the angle was terrible. It was like you're looking up at my chin a lot. So, and then I just recorded the video again right now, 30 minutes. Same thing happened, so I got to get used to this whole video thing. But I was kind of repeating myself in that video as well. So I want to make these videos shorter and not long. So a lot has happened in the last month and a half. I didn't record a lot in February at all. When I was uploading those videos, my previous videos on my walks, those were recorded or shot in late January, and I would, just edited them and uploaded them, whenever I did that in early February. I didn't record anything else. And there's a reason why. I started to get very back into my anxiousness, a lot of things, I was just going through a lot of mental stuff. I think I've been dealing with depression, severe depression, and things like that, isolation, unintentionally and intentionally. That's something I want to touch on in this video. I was unintentionally isolating myself the last month and a half, going through everything, because I had developed a routine because of my anxiety, my thoughts, my anxiousness every day. I just found it was hard. My plan was just to get through the day. I had no worries about anything else, just getting through the day, and that's it. So I developed a plan, and it was like a routine plan. And if you weren't a part of that plan, I felt as though you would make me panic. If someone called me at 11 o'clock at night, that was anxiety inducing for me, because again, not a part of the plan. So even talking to family and friends, again, it was hard for me to even laugh about things, that just engage in normal conversation. It was very hard because I was so in my own thoughts, in my own head, just worried about getting through the day, and I didn't want to hear about jokes about something random, and I was just really just in my own head. So that's what started to happen a lot in February. I'm getting the months mixed up in February. And it really started to get worse and worse and worse, to where I was just having these feelings and sensations, and I was just really anxious, and I was really scared every single day. Just getting through the day, I was extremely scared, just impending doom, not feeling like myself, feeling unreal, all these weird sensations, anxiety, depression, reanalyzing my life, and just everything kind of at once. And when everything's at once, it's such a I feel like I was fighting on every single mental front that I could, you know. I just felt like I was going, like my mind was just going through it. You know, I'm still getting out of it again, but just in my own head. And things started to take a turn once I started, you know, talking to my therapist helped. I found for some reason that, you know, when group therapy ended and all this other stuff, you know, happened, yeah, it just, I felt like things weren't really helping as they were before, and that's when I started to get more scared, you know. I was like, man, like, I'm feeling even anxious doing these things that I thought would, you know, make me feel good. And it was just getting worse, you know, that's point blank, it was just getting worse. And then I started to kind of open up a little bit, you know. On the days that I felt actually good after talking to my therapist, I felt relieved, you know, enough to like relax. My mind was, you know, my mind went slow with the thoughts on those days. And when I saw those openings of like slow processing, like, you know, not thinking 1,000 miles an hour, and I felt that I could relax, I decided to be social, and I talked to my friend, and that was really grounding. It opened up my eyes and made me realize that being social actually does have a really positive effect. And I would go on, this was last week on, you know, around March like 4th, you know, March 4th, March 5th. And yeah, so I started to open up to friends. I actually sought out communication with like old friends. And on that day, I really felt like really good, you know, enough to get my hair cut. And I didn't record a lot of my walks or really anything after what I uploaded on YouTube, but I, you know, was able to, I wish I would have recorded because I made tremendous progress with walking. I'm able to walk, you know, a lot farther than what my videos on here have been so far. I made it to the corner store about 3 or 4 times. I made it to other places, you know, like a nearby Mexican restaurant. And I just felt so good on that day, on Sunday. And I was just, you know, talking to old friends, talking about old memories. It just made me feel really good. And I decided to finally go and get a haircut. So I got the haircut, went in there, and there was really nobody in there. I was like the next person, and that was it. There was, you know, the person who just finished their haircut, they left, and it was just me and the barber for about like 40 minutes until somebody came in and waited. But yeah, I opened up to the barber, told him what I was going through, and you know, he gave me words of encouragement. And also the customer who came in also was listening in, gave me, you know, kind of words of encouragement as well. So I just felt very good. And that's when I realized that being social, you know, kind of does have a lot of positive effects. And then, you know, I, you know, kind of went back into my depression that afternoon a little bit. But then after talking to another friend, you know, I videoed, FaceTimed, or, you know, whatever. And that was, it lifted up my spirits. And then, you know, the next day I talked to them as well. So I was starting to understand the concept of being social, like getting out of the isolation. Although it was so scary for me to do because, like I said, I developed that routine. And if you weren't a part of it, I just thought everything was like the world was going to crumble and things like that. I guess I had to make that decision, like, let's be social and see how it goes. And I've always found that after being social, you just feel better. You know, you feel more grounded. Things started to take a turn after I found somebody on YouTube who actually went through all. This was on Tuesday or Wednesday of March, which was on the 7th of March, either the 7th or the 8th. And I was just looking for videos on YouTube about agoraphobia, just things that possibly I could relate to. I was trying to find something that I could relate to, and I found someone on YouTube. Her name's Maria Annette, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And that day that I found her channel, I was so relieved because she basically spoke about everything that I was experiencing. You know, apart from the agoraphobia, the anxiousness, the unreality feelings, which I know now is just disassociation, and it just validated my symptoms that I've been experiencing, and just gave me that sense of not being so alone. And it was just so relieving. And I think I hadn't been able to relax my mind, and just kind of like, take a second to just be like, oh wow, like someone else is going through what I'm going through, and now I know what I'm going through. Like now I know what it is, and I was just relaxed, So like for 2 days I felt very good. She gave a lot of tips about mental well-being, and I wrote a whole 3-4 pages about notes on that video. I'll leave a link to that video to her channel where other people can watch, but a lot of it was changing your eating habits, or not changing, but eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, exercising, like walking 10,000 steps a day, taking care of yourself, your hygiene, meditating, going to bed early, getting sunlight, listening to audiobooks, a lot of tips. And I'd rather just leave a link in the description going over them, so you guys can watch that video. I'm starting to put some of these things into practice. It's going to take some time for me to do all these things, because, it's having the courage to do all of them, but I'm practicing the socializing this week, and I'm just trying to see how that goes. I'm just taking it day by day at this point. But yeah, that's kind of the turning point, was finding her channel and just knowing that someone else is going through what I'm going through and has experienced what I'm currently experiencing, and it just made me so relieved. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm currently now, the anxiousness has weared off a bit. Like I am able to, lay in bed during the day a little bit. I'm able to talk to friends. It's still kind of hard for me to go to sleep. I'm still battling that right now, because I'll be worried a lot, when I'm sleeping. And I'm in bed by 9 o'clock or like 8:30, but, it takes me about like 2 hours or 3 hours to fall asleep. And it's just like trusting myself. Listening to Claire Weeks on Audible is something that she recommended, and what I've started to do. And that's a huge game changer for me as well. I listen to that on my walks, when I'm, at nighttime, when I'm laying down to go to sleep. And I highly recommend that, listening to Claire Weeks. And that's basically what I'm going through. It seems, when I say it out loud, it's like so little, but like in my head, it feels like I've gone through like a war, like the last 2 months. So yeah, like I'm still kind of going through it, still dealing with the agoraphobia. I've lost more weight. I don't want to, body shame or anything like that, but I wasn't happy with kind of who I was last year at the end of the year. This all just hit me at once, like it all just hit me, like reanalyzing or like re-evaluating my life, and just depression, and I've just, all these things just at once, the anxiousness, like everything. It's been pretty hard to climb out of, but I've been trying to make progress. I've lost weight, I've changed up my diet, but now I need to start focusing on these aspects of like being social and doing other stuff, like getting plans for your room, doing coloring, journaling. I mean, I do that, but calling a friend, going out and getting sunlight. But even on the days where it is cloudy, I still I still go out on my walks. I guess I noticed that around the 40-minute mark I start to feel better. For instance, like some days I'll feel depressed, like I'll wake up and I'm okay and I'm kind of getting through the day, and then this huge depression wave hits me, and I'm just like, man, just in my not really anxiousness, but just feeling low, feeling very non-inspired, just depressed. And then when I go on my walk, I take a warm shower right before my walk, and then I go on my walk, and yeah, it takes about like 40 minutes for me to start feeling better. But yeah, I just have to keep telling myself that feelings do change. You're not always gonna feel depressed. You're not always gonna feel anxious, like there are times where you do feel good. I just need to keep reminding myself that. Yeah, so those are the things I'm working on right now. Being social, just teaching myself, to trust myself at nighttime to go to sleep and not be so in my thoughts and just, yeah. And that's pretty much it. There's other personal stuff that I've gone through, but, I don't feel like it's necessary to mention here. I'm just working on myself, taking it day by day, because it still feels hard to get through the day, but, I'm doing what I can. So I hope that some people feel relieved in watching my videos. I know that a lot of my videos are very fast-paced and very long, so I'm trying to keep them short now. I feel like now I'm at a place where I can kind of collect a little bit, so that's why I decided to pick up the camera today and record. But yeah, that's my plan for the week. Right now it's March 14th, and for the next week I just plan on being social, or trying to be more social, trying to sleep better, and exercising, doing push-ups, things like that. I just, for myself, there's other things that Maria taught, recommended, but, I have to kind of ease into that. Yeah, taking showers has helped a lot. Like, obviously I take a shower, but even during the day, like when you feel really depressed, take a shower and go on a walk. And I promise you, like 40 minutes into the walk, you will start to feel better. Even if you listen to some audio, or like call a friend on your walk, but you will feel better after. I've noticed it's like the 40-minute mark for me. I wanted to provide an update. I'm still trying to be active on this channel, like that was my intention from the beginning, and I don't want to lose that, although I'm not too inspired right now because I'm still going through my depression stuff, but I feel like I will look back at this and know why I did this, so if my channel helps anybody, then, I'm thankful, or I'm happy. Hope you guys are doing good, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Have a good one.